Hi, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving food tier list. I'm joined by my wife, _Blair Twitch, and we are going to probably have some differing opinions. I'm not the biggest fan. I'll give her a second though, just to introduce herself, and then I'll get into that.
Oh, I'm Blair, and I like Thanksgiving food, and my husband AJ doesn't.
Well, see, that's for the most part, no. I think it's an inferior food as a category. The desserts are usually pretty good. I do see that there are some desserts represented on this list, so they will probably do favorably. So we're also going to be rating, or at least I'm going to be rating, based on the general preparation style that you usually see when you think Thanksgiving food, and not necessarily what we have, because Blair has over time tailored a lot of the recipes that she cooks to be more in line with a balance of it's Thanksgiving type foods, but it's also been modified so that I am a little more into it. So
It's true.
So I'm going to rank them based on if I were just showing up at somebody's house and what kind of like what the pictures are showing right here, like what I would be or most people would be expecting as Thanksgiving foods, not the ones that have been custom tailored to my taste.
Multiple types of turkey on this list, multiple types of ways you can cook certain things. So there's three or four different turkeys on here.
I haven't looked at all of these items that are on here, but I'm going to bet nothing ranks higher than a B that's not a dessert. It's going to be my guess.
Oh, okay. Well, you want to start out with red velvet cake? Since it's right here. It's really odd first one on here, but yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna put it in, I'm a C for this. I don't think of Thanksgiving when I think of red velvet cake.
Well, I'm also going to put it in a C tier, but not for the same reason. I'm just going to rank it as a cake, and I think as a cake, red velvet is a mistake and a little bit of a tease, because it's basically what chocolate cake with cream cheese frosting.
Yeah.
Basically.
Basically, yeah.
It's fine. It's a solid cake. I will never turn down a slice of red velvet cake. Yeah. However, I would also never go and purchase a red velvet cake or prepare one myself. So that's kind of where I land with red velvet cake. Like, it's pretty good, but there are so many superior cakes. So I'm going to land that right on a C, because in the world of cakes, it's on the lower end.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, maybe I would give it a B-, like a C+, B- to be a little bit more fair, but that's not an option on here, and I'm not about to create the custom tiers to do so. So C it is.
I'm glad you and I agree on the first one, because I have a feeling it's about to get a little wild. Biscuits.
What? Oh, never mind. I thought I was thinking dinner rolls. I was looking at the wrong. I skipped an image mentally. Biscuits.
The witchcraft goes well. Blue goes better well. And I'm doing well. I'm up at 4 in the morning doing a tier list with my husband. So great. I think biscuits is an A for me.
Biscuits is going to be an A?
For me, yeah. I like biscuits. I would eat at least 2 of them. Blue says hello, AJ.
Hello, Blue. How are you?
She always talks about you. I do always talk about you. I know Blue from Keanu's chat.
Is this just like your breakfast biscuit kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a bread. Yeah.
I know what I just said a minute ago, but I'm probably gonna put these in A, because I do like a good breakfast style biscuit. I do like those quite a lot. I don't think there's much to explain here. I think everyone grasps the concept of biscuit, but if you need like a mass market picture of what this biscuit would be, like the what are those biscuits that come in the can and you twist it and they pop and then you put them on the sheet?
The Pillsbury grains.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say that's kind of like the quintessential biscuit. I mean, you can get superior ones probably at Well, if you want to go through the trouble of making them, but also at
Man.
various restaurants that serve breakfast, you could
Red
probably get
Lobster's
superior
Cheddar
ones.
Bay biscuits. Oh,
Yeah, but I wouldn't put that in the same category as just a biscuit,
no,
though.
it's different. It's an
Yeah,
elevated biscuit, but
it would warrant. It's different enough that I think it would warrant its own spot.
yeah.
So, biscuit is a top tier food item.
Dinner rolls.
My gut instinct was C, because like
See,
it's the way I always approached dinner rolls when it comes to Thanksgiving is I'm often at places and I have all this food before me that I'm not a big fan of. So I try to stomach some of it. And then I use the roll to help me stomach some of it. So I go through I eat a lot of rolls because for like every bite of something else, I'm eating some of that roll with it to get it down. And I think that that's kind of the purpose the dinner roll serves. Like it's just like it's a functional bread, you know.
yeah, I put mine in B just because I do love a good dinner roll, but I prefer biscuits. If someone said, "Hey, would you like a biscuit or would you like a dinner roll?" I'm gonna pick the biscuit.
The thing is, sometimes if I'm eating something, especially something that's meatier, sometimes I miss when there's not a roll present. But I've never, I guess, thought like I wish it was these like particular dinner rolls that all come in the package where they're stuck together.
Yeah.
I've never wished it was that, just that there was a bread product. So they serve no particular purpose other than to be a lot of bread for cheap. So
Yeah.
I think it is a C
Popeye's
tier item.
biscuits do slap blue. I love Popeye's biscuits. And I hate that they only give you one when you order food. And if you ask for an extra one, they sometimes forget it and still charge you for it. Anyway. King's Hawaiian. I'm gonna go ahead and put this right up on the S tier. I can eat I could eat a whole one of these, a whole entire tray raw. I don't even have to put them like heat them up. I can just eat them just cold and plain, the whole thing.
So King's Hawaiian. I'm torn between B and C because they're clearly better than the dinner rolls. There's no question. But I've never craved a King's Hawaiian bread. I feel like right now it's just looking good because we just had dinner rolls and I just had a treatise on why dinner rolls are C tier. We've had King's Hawaiian rolls in situations where they were good and I do feel like they elevated this. But that's whenever we made like those pulled pork sliders and stuff like that. It wasn't Thanksgiving related.
True.
But I do feel like they elevated something like that compared to just like a bun or something. But then again, like I said, I never really think about them. And if they disappeared from the market, I still think I just wouldn't think about them. I wouldn't be thinking, oh, I missed out. Is it the sign of a C tier item?
I mean,
they're good. They're good. They're fine. Like I would never snub a King's Hawaiian roll, but if there were like various things on the table, I mean, like I would grab one. And then I would be a little bit surprised, like, oh, these are better than I remember, and then I would forget about them after the meal. I think their specific purpose is if you're making something like those pulled pork sliders, they make a hell of a bun for it. That's the best use I've ever seen of these.
Crescent rolls. I'm gonna put these in the B tier for me. I like a crescent roll, but I feel very similar to how I feel about dinner rolls with those. They're just there. They're very bland to me. I don't know. They're just there. I know some people swear by crescent rolls. They're like, it's not Thanksgiving without crescent rolls.
I was just adding a new tier at the bottom just preemptively. Because I know that I'll need it. But
I see it. I see it.
okay. So, were we at crescent rolls?
Crescent rolls.
Crescent rolls are very good. Crescent rolls are up here with the biscuits for pretty much all of the same reasons. It's just like it's an equally good alternative to biscuit. They're
Okay.
versatile. You can do a lot with them. I know my mom used to make this like chicken. I don't really know what she put in it, but I know it was chicken based. And then like she would take the crescent rolls and then because they come like in the little flat things and you roll them up,
Mhm.
and she would roll that
Yeah.
chicken up in there and then cook them, and they were delicious.
That does sound really good.
I
And
don't know what she did to that chicken, but it's super good.
I'll have to find out. I agree. I love chocolate croissants. There's a place.
Chocolate croissant. Go. I'll let you talk about chocolate croissant.
There's a
and then I'll
place
weigh
in Texas called Summer Moon Coffee, and they have an amazing chocolate croissant. Just, it's perfect. So good. So good. If you ever can go. Delicious. What were you going to say?
The thing about chocolate croissant is it's like the worst way to have a croissant is the problem. There are numerous other ways to have croissant that are superior. The best of which is almond croissant, I would say. But
I do
chocolate
love a good
croissant,
almond croissant. I like an almond.
chocolate croissant is like chocolate donut, where it takes an item that's good, that's very versatile and very good in a lot of ways, and creates the worst version of like a good item.
Disagree. Blue don't like you anymore.
It's just not as good.
I don't agree with him, Blue. I don't. We're gonna have a lot of food disagreements in this stream. I guarantee you. We're about to get into we're about to get into one right now because Brussels sprouts. I adore Brussels sprouts. That is A tier for me. If my husband would eat them, I would cook them more. I don't cook them.
I don't like them, but it's a food that I haven't had in so long. It feels weird to put it in the Forsaken tier just because I don't feel that strongly about it. It's a food that I know that exists, and I've accepted that I don't like it, and I just don't have it. And I kind of forget that they even exist at all until every now and then someone brings them up. To be honest, I mostly think about them in regards to Ernest Scared Stupid.
That's very specific.
I'm gonna go ahead and put Brussels sprouts in the Forsaken tier because like they do suck major ass.
Love Brussels sprouts. Butternut squash.
This is like a soup.
Yeah, it's a soup. It's butternut squash soup, it looks like on here, but you can just like roast it. I know you're gonna go ahead and put this in this Forsaken category because you don't like soup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the C category because I like it. I just don't feel strongly enough about it to try to fight for it.
So like am I ranking it based on it being a soup? If so, then it's bottom tier for sure. If it's just like the squash that you cut up into little circles and roast, then like I feel like it doesn't have the power to impress much one way or the other, and I would put it like in D tier if it's that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and base it off the picture and say it's a soup.
Soup?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone.
Ashley said, "How do you not like soup? And the fuck do you eat when you're sick?"
Just regular food, the same thing I would eat normally.
He likes one type of soup that I make. I make mulligatawny soup every now and again. He does like that, but other than that, he will not eat any other type of soup. So, and I love soup. I adore soup. Cranberry sauce. This is like the fresh cranberry sauce that like I make.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they actually do have 2 different entries on here for the different types of cranberry sauce.
I'm gonna put this in S tier because this is one of my favorite things. Blue says I'm too good for you.
Yeah, I'll agree with Blue on that one.
Oh, you guys. No.
Yeah. See, even sometimes Blue and I can't agree. So they've made space for the cranberry sauce and the jelly cranberry. Cranberry sauce is quite good. I'm torn between A and B because the thing with it is I like it a lot, but like I like small amounts of it. I think a little bit goes a long way, but I mean, I guess I have control of that. It's the flavor of the sauce itself that's good. Yeah, we'll go A because I like the flavor a lot, but I do feel like a little goes a long way whenever you put it on or add it to stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I have control of the distribution, so I can't hold that against it. So yeah,
Mm.
I would say that's an A tier. It's very good. It's not something that I would want frequently, but it's very good whenever we have it, and it is, unlike some of these other ones, something that I do think about sometimes. So
Mm.
I think this is
What?
good enough to be in the A tier.
A
It's a good one.
jellied cranberry sauce, I also love a lot, and that is going in A tier for me.
Have I ever even tried this?
I don't know if you have or not. It's this consistency of Jello. I mean,
I've
it's a
I don't
little
think of
thicker.
I don't honestly don't know if I've ever tried it because I never liked the look of it. I feel like I must have tried it at some point, but I never liked the way that it looked or the way it slimed out of that can.
Oh, it's so
So
cute.
I'm just gonna put it in D because of its presentation, but it probably actually tastes fine. And if I actually
Yeah.
tried it, I would be probably okay with it. But just I'm gonna, put a big verbal asterisk that I'm not sure that I've ever actually had this, but that I
Mm.
do know that this other one is good, and I can't imagine that this is superior to it.
Green bean casserole.
I don't like this, right?
I've never made this for you because you were adamant that you don't like it. I put it in B. I like green bean casserole. I'll put it on my plate like when I go around the first time, but if I'm coming back for seconds, I usually don't get more. But I do like it a lot. I'm just not, losing my mind over it.
Feel like green bean casserole is one of those items where if it's around, I always get like a tiny piece of it because
Mhm.
because I like green beans, and then I see the stuff on top that looks like it might be crunchy, and then
Mm.
you break into it to actually get some of it out, and it's nothing but like liquid mush under the top layer, and then it turns out to be awful, and that's
See,
what happens every single time.
I feel like I need to
And
make it for you because I've noticed, especially here in Mississippi, most people used canned green beans to make green bean casserole, and you're already dealing with something that's a very slimy, soft food. Then you're adding more slimy, soft things to it. You need to start with fresh, crunchy green beans. I feel like to make a good green bean casserole. Otherwise, you are going to just get a pile of wet on your plate.
does it go in the D tier or does it get sent straight to hell for being deceptive? It's almost edible. Like even in the picture, it doesn't look bad. I just know that in general, casserole, if you take anything and then make casserole out of it, you've ruined it. You've destroyed whatever like quality that it had that made it good. Casserole is just a bad food.
I love a good casserole.
I guess I'll go ahead and put it down here in the bottom. I don't, maybe it should be in the D. We'll see.
Now we're at roast. There's multiple types of turkey on this list. This is specifically a roast turkey, which is what I make every year.
uh,
It's a B
yeah,
for
but
me.
we've already covered that. Like you've got tweaks, right? That separate it out. Like what is the general
L
roast turkey?
so general roast turkey. I don't know. I mean, I make a special sauce to go with our roast turkey because it it makes it less dry. Like turkey is just a very bland meat. If you don't, you know, even if you season it to death, it's still just turkey.
No, no, no.
Um,
Turkey is a quality meat. But the problem with these big fucking turkeys is they get all this bones and shit in them. Like,
but yeah, AJ doesn't like bones in his meat.
just like if you start off sliced, you've
You
you've
have to,
conquered most of the battle.
yeah, turkey is just turkey. So that's why I make a an orange. I make well, it's a citrus based hollandaise sauce to put on the turkey, and it's very good, and it makes it very it makes the turkey very good. But let's just say we're going to your great Aunt Edna's house, and she's got a turkey, and she's gonna slice that turkey up, and you're gonna eat some of it.
It's always such a wild. I think it's too much of a wild card. If it's a good roast turkey, the flavor of the turkey is probably like a B, but I think I would put the experience of having to eat the turkey, because you got to cut it out, and then sometimes like there's like a stringy bit, or sometimes like there's this disgusting like really wet part of the turkey that you cut into and stuff
Hmm.
like that, and like the experience of having to deal with it is like C or D tier. But the flavor of the turkey, once you've got it on the plate and you've done an ass load of work to get like 3 bites of it, the
Uh-huh.
flavor is fine. I suppose it's a B then, I guess.
We agree on another one.
But I do think that I I do think that it is a god awful too much amount of effort type of food.
Okay, that's fine. Next is gonna be we're gonna disagree on this next one. Cornbread is S tier for me. I love cornbread. I could destroy some cornbread. It doesn't matter what day, what time of day. I can eat cornbread every day, every single day, and be happy.
Maybe C. I feel like it being in C tier is. I feel like maybe I've softened on my opinion of cornbread slightly. Because I definitely would have put it in D before. I think maybe it's probably a C tier item though. Yeah. It. I don't know. People around here like it and want it way too often with way too many things, and then they sop it in whatever liquid of the food that they're eating all the time.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
that's what made it so disgusting. But once you've separated it from all that and you just eat the cornbread, it's not
Yeah.
nearly as bad as all that. So I think maybe a C.
Next, we have corn on the cob. I don't mind corn on the cob. It's just corn.
So
It's
where do
just
you
corn
got?
on the cob.
So where does it go?
I'm trying to decide because I don't hate it, but like I'm not. If I have all this stuff on a table and then I walk up on corn on the cob, I'm probably not getting it. It's I'm just there's other things that are better. I'm gonna put it under C just because I don't hate it. It doesn't go in D tier because I'm just gonna say D tier for stuff I would never eat. But like I don't care. I don't care about corn on the cob. Like it's fine. It's fine.
Interesting. I would put corn on the cob at least B. I like corn on the cob. I would. It can be A tier, but I think on the average it's B. Like
Okay.
well done corn on the cob can be A, but I do think B is a good placement on just for average corn on the cob. The problem with corn on the cob is like the turkey, it's a pain in the ass to eat because you have to eat it off of the cob to get stuck in your teeth and all that shit. So like sometimes you just have to wager whether or not it's worth it. Like is the taste worth the effort? I think probably the ideal, though I've never done it, is if you just had the corn on the cob and it was all prepared and everything, and then you just took like a knife and just whoop, slice those kernels right off and then just ate them. So you didn't have to deal with the cob.
Then you don't get the corn on the cob experience.
The experience is the bad part. The flavor is the good part.
Mm.
I'm putting it in B, but it has A potential. Like if it's grilled with good seasonings. Just a pain in the ass and a mess. So I don't like my food too messy. So that holds it back a little bit. But definitely B at least.
Okay. Next is just plain spinach. I'm gonna go ahead and say I feel plain spinach, cooked plain spinach, is maybe one of the worst things in the world. It makes your house smell bad. I'm going to go ahead and preface this with the one that comes after spinach on this list, the cream spinach, is probably not going to be in D tier, but regular, just plain, nothing added to it spinach is gross. And I don't like cooked spinach. I'll eat raw spinach all day long. Plain spinach. Ugh.
Okay, so this spinach, this in this picture. So is this like the spinach whenever people take and they put it in like a pot of water and they just boil it down into a fucking atrocious mush, and then they're like, here's your greens. Yeah, dude, fuck that. Forsaken tier. Bullshit.
Yeah.
While we're at it though, I'm gonna go ahead and save us time and throw the creamed spinach down here.
No. So cream spinach I'm putting in a B tier. I love creamed spinach.
Well,
it's really good.
I'm moving it along and I'm putting the creamed spinach right in this Forsaken tier.
Creamed
with
spinach
the other
with
spinach.
like a steak. Oh my gosh. Hell yes. So good. So good.
It's not good. Not at all.
Good. It's
Now like
good.
no, like a crispy leafy spinach along with something else. Like that's fine.
Yeah. Like I'll use like baby spinach in a salad. Delicious.
Yeah. Now on its own, I don't think it has the ability to rank very highly just as like a fresh spinach or whatever. It's like it's because it's very much like an accessory food, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
But that's fine. So what do we get next?
Next we have asparagus. I like asparagus. Again, it's one of those foods that if I went through the line and I saw asparagus, I'd get some. But if I went to get back seconds, I wouldn't get seconds of asparagus. So I'm going to put it in B.
If asparagus disappeared from the planet, I like within a year, I feel like I would forgotten it was ever there to start with, you know?
Just don't care about it.
Yeah, I really just don't care. I think it will go into D for just don't care. Like
D for don't care.
Yeah. Like I could eat a piece. It's edible, but I would never choose it, you know. I
love creamed corn. I'm gonna put it in A tier because I can go ham on some creamed corn, especially like homemade creamed corn and not like the stuff you get in a can. Ooh.
All right. So, corn on the cob, great food. Has very high potential. There's a high ceiling for corn on the cob. Like it can reach the stars, you know, if it's prepared correctly. Cream corn, Forsaken tier. Bullshit.
What? No, absolutely. What?
I don't like it.
You don't like cream corn?
It's
Have you had
corn,
homemade cream corn?
It's corn milk soup is all it is. You take some corn and like you just dump it in milk and heat it up. Like, no, it's terrible. Sprinkle some parsley on it.
White gravy. White gravy's good on biscuits. I don't like white gravy on anything else. It's too thick. It takes away. Ashley agrees with you on the cream corn.
Yeah. Rock on. High five.
White gravy's good on biscuits. Like, it's just good on biscuits. So if I'm going to put it on a biscuit, it would be like an A tier. But if you're just giving me white gravy to put on all my food, it's not going on all my food. So I'm going to put it in C tier.
I only discovered, well, I didn't discover it. I only tried this food for the first time probably in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And I do like it with biscuits, but it puts a strict timer on eating that biscuit because once the biscuit starts, once the bread actually starts getting soggy and like wet and destroyed from it, it's over. So the ability to self-distribute the gravy is very important because then you can just put some on there when you're ready to take a bite. But like, how good is it really? Like, it is good, but I never find myself just wanting or craving it. It's probably C tier. I don't know. Whenever I have it, I do like it quite a bit. There's B potential, but it's just not something I would want terribly frequently.
if it was like white gravy on biscuits, it'd be A tier. But if it's just white gravy to put on your turkey or on your other food or your potatoes, no, absolutely not.
No. Well, it's on the biscuit in this picture, so I'm gonna stick with C tier. It's like a C to a B type area for me.
Yeah. Now brown gravy, I'm gonna put in the B tier because I will put brown gravy on potatoes. And I'll put it on more things.
Do I like brown gravy? It looks like, I feel like I don't like brown gravy.
I've made it before. I don't know if you had it when I made it because I was cooking for a lot of people that day. It was Thanksgiving before last. Was when I made brown gravy for Thanksgiving.
I certainly don't like the look of it. I honestly couldn't tell you what brown gravy tastes like. I don't know if I've had it and also didn't like it, but I certainly don't like its presentation. I'm gonna put it in D. Kind of also for I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I don't like brown gravy. And again, if like Big Gravy wanted people to like it, they should have made it more appetizing.
Big Gravy, McCormick's out here like fighting for its life. Now the next two are gonna be real easy for AJ. I already know where these two are going. You can go ahead and move them because I know where they're going.
Yeah, like ham is bullshit. It's the worst meat. I mean, maybe amongst your conventional meats, ham hands down the worst. It's awful. It tastes bad. It has a bad texture to it. It's not good. It's the smell is a little bit like kind of sweet and sickening a little bit. It's bad. Ham is not a good food.
So spiral ham for me is gonna go in S tier.
What the fuck is even the difference? Go ahead. What is the difference in these two? But go ahead.
Spiral ham is usually, I think of a spiral ham as being more savory than the ham that's just the regular ham. See how it has like the cherries and the pineapples on it? It's more of a sweet ham. I like a more savory ham, so spiral hams are more salty. And I love, if I'm gonna pick between salty and sweet, I will pick salty every time. I love spiral ham. I don't get it anymore because my husband thinks that ham is an abomination. And I'm gonna put the sweet ham in C tier because I usually don't even eat the sweet ham if it's available because I don't like sweet meat. So but yeah, spiral ham for me, I love it. Sweet ham, not the worst thing in the world. I'll eat it if I have to, but prefer not to. And then I'm gonna just leave it at that because I could argue for ham, but I choose not to because he's very adamant that it is the worst thing.
No one should argue for ham.
Smoked turkey.
I don't know if I have enough of a turkey palate to like truly distinguish the differences. Like, I feel like just throwing it into B for all of the same reasons as the roast turkey. Once you get to the meat and you have the meat, it's good. Too much work. Like, if we're talking like this whole turkey, I do feel like maybe I have a preference for smoked turkeys if it's like, you know, you go to the deli for some sliced turkey to make sandwiches with.
Mm-hmm.
I think this may be better than roasted, but like, is it better enough for a whole tier? If we were ranking these based on their sandwiches they can produce, smoked turkey can produce some S tier sandwiches, but just as like, it's just like a meat on the plate. A or B, it's hard to say.
I put mine in B.
I'll let it ride on with B for now. But I would accept A tier. I wouldn't argue an A tier placement of a smoked turkey.
Okay. Next we have regular mac and cheese.
I do like regular mac and cheese a lot. You can go ahead and give your placement. Let me think about this a moment.
Let me go ahead and we have regular mac and cheese, and then the next one after that is baked mac and cheese. I like both of them for different reasons. Regular mac and cheese is it's just good. Like, it's noodles and cheese. I mean, it's good. It's gonna be, the regular mac and cheese is gonna be S tier for me. I will eat it, and I will eat it for days afterwards if there's any leftovers. Baked mac and cheese is also gonna be S tier for me because it's so good. It's so good. You get that, like, that crust on the top. And you've got, like, it's so good. It's so good. It's a perfect food. It's cheese and noodles. There's nothing wrong with it.
So regular mac and cheese, there can be things wrong with it. And it has been evidenced by whenever we have been out and I've ordered a side of mac and cheese and I just get like some like off-white water noodles.
Yes, you can make bad mac and cheese. I'm talking about like homemade Thanksgiving mac and cheese.
Well, I don't know about homemade Thanksgiving mac and cheese, but if you just bust that shit out of that blue Kraft box or the yellow Velveeta box, that's pretty top tier. Like, it's arguable S. I'm gonna put it in A. The baked goes into S tier, I think. I think this is the placements for those, A and S.
Allergies are kicking my ass today. This next one's gonna cause a little bit of a thing. Mashed potato might be my favorite food of all time, ever, anytime. So obviously it's an automatic S tier. I crave it when I'm sick. I want it all the time. I already know AJ's gonna put it in forbidden foods. I already know. It's a texture thing. I'm gonna not be mad about it today.
It does go in the forsaken tier. It is one of the worst foods that I've ever tasted. It's like vomit inducing. Like, I remember I was trying to be polite at someone's house and eat mashed potatoes several years ago, and I could not hide the disgust on my face, and they pitied me and said that I didn't have to eat the mashed potatoes. They're bad.
It's so funny to me because I love mashed potatoes. Like,
there's some foods I just can't stomach. Mashed potato is one of them. Honestly, ham is one of them too, because I went somewhere that like fucked up my sandwich order and they put ham, because I ordered a sandwich that has ham, but I asked them if I could get turkey instead. And they put ham on it. And I didn't look at that sandwich. I just opened it up and bit into it, and like immediately, like I was like, you just take like, 3 or 4 bites to break it down and you swallow it whole and you just move on. Like, and then you go up there and be like, I'm so sorry. Like I wanted this with turkey. And then you feel bad a little bit because they have to remake it. I mean, they did mess up the order, but I still felt bad because I usually just deal with it and don't take it back. But I couldn't deal with the ham. If they had messed up the toppings or something, it'd been whatever. I don't care.
Next one is a baked potato. I'll put this in A tier. I love baked potatoes, but if I'm comparing it between a mashed potato and a baked potato, it's not as good as the mashed potato.
That's a definite D. Definite D tier.
D.
Yes. I will eat a baked potato, but I don't think it brings a lot to the table. I don't know what else to say about them.
What about a baked sweet potato?
I don't know if I've ever had that. I'm going to put it in D tier. I assume it's about the same. I don't know. Sometimes sweet potato gets mushier, right? Even if you bake. I'm going to put it in D because I don't even know if I've ever had it. I feel like it's probably worse. But I don't honestly know.
I'm going to put it in C tier because eating just a sweet potato baked with like butter and salt and pepper is just weird to me. I've done it before. It's fine. But if I'm going to eat sweet potatoes, I want it like in a sweet potato casserole or a sweet potato pie or yams. Like, I don't want just a sweet potato by itself. And there, I've said it. Next we have green beans. Now, if they're my green beans, I'm putting them in A tier. But if I'm going to someone else's house, I'm going to put them in B tier. Actually, C tier. Actually. Because other people don't cook their green beans right. Sorry. I don't like floppy green beans. Can't stand it. I like a little bit of a crunch on my green beans.
That's a good point. Yeah, because I like a crisp green bean. I mean, that's pretty much true across the anything that's been vegetable based, right? Like I like it with a crisp to it. I don't want it
Yeah.
baked, boiled, or just like turned into a mush or anything.
Yeah.
So I would, yeah, like the home recipe for the green beans, I would say is like an A tier side. Like that's a good item. It's got a
Yeah.
good crisp to it. There's a few variations that you make. They're all good in different ways. So it's a good versatile veg. Yeah, if we're talking someone else's house, they are a wild card. They have a high potential just to be kind of mush and slimy. Maybe not quite mush, but kind of like too soft and slimy. Does that put them in C or D? If we're in a situation like that, it's definitely worse than red velvet cake and these various bread options. So I guess that means it's D. For the average experience of the green bean, it's probably D. I don't know, the average experience in this region of the United States anyway. I don't know how they're frequently prepared elsewhere, but around here, people just boil them into a slop.
Boil them to absolute mush. I'm gonna say they say the same thing about peas. I don't mind peas, they're fine. I don't make peas very often because I'm not even sure if AJ likes peas. But I feel very neutral about peas. Like if they're there, maybe I'll grab some, maybe I won't. I don't know. They're peas.
I never take peas just on their own, but I'll tell you one thing that I think about and I miss that we don't frequently have. I don't know what you did. I think you put some rice in the rice cooker and then at some point during the cooking process, or maybe after they were done, you threw some peas in there to steam on top of the rice or something. Did you do something like this?
I did.
That was very good.
Yeah, I had dashi rice in the rice cooker, and because instead of using just water to boil the rice, I used dashi water, like the dashi, and then put peas in, like a bag of frozen peas into the rice cooker at the very end. After it was done, I added 10 minutes to it and steamed the.
That was quite good. That was good enough that I think about that sometimes. But usually, I never get them as I guess they're in D for don't make the cut to be on my plate.
Cabbage. So if the cabbage looks like the cabbage on this picture, I'm gonna put it in B tier because I will get some and put it on my plate. I may not get seconds, but I will try it because that looks like really good cabbage to me.
I don't even know what's going on this plate. I feel like I hate it though. I don't know. Cabbage has its place. Like, I don't like coleslaw, but if you make like a slaw to put on like some sort of barbecue meat sandwich, most frequently pulled pork, but it doesn't have to be. That's good. That's not what this is, obviously.
Yeah.
Kimchi, I go back and forth on kimchi. I think I'm pretty mid on kimchi, honestly. It's okay. I feel like, I mean, I don't know how it's traditionally eaten, but I feel like too many places, like it's served just on its own for you just like to eat it. I think the kimchi is very good eating it alongside like the other foods, you know, or even like at the same time with them.
It's considered a condiment and it's a condiment food.
Well, okay. Well, it's absolutely better that way. But I feel like most places where I've ever had it, they serve it to you with like, here's a bunch of different ones and some sauces. Like you're supposed to eat it all by itself like that. And I don't know, maybe that's perfectly viable, but I feel like it's an inferior way to eat kimchi. But anyway, that's also not what this is. I can't tell what this is, so I don't know if I should. I guess D tier. I don't know what I'm looking at in this picture. I mean, you can try and describe it to me, but this looks bad.
The next one though blows my mind because I've never had. This is a very specific thing to whoever made this playlist or made this tier list. Has to be fried oyster mushrooms. I've never had fried mushrooms at Thanksgiving. I like fried mushrooms. I'm not against eating a fried mushroom at Thanksgiving. I'm just very confused. I feel like the person who made this tier list, but this has to be like a family thing, right? Unless there's a part of the country that serves fried mushrooms at Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the B tier because I like a fried mushroom. I'm just confused as to why it's on a Thanksgiving tier list.
It's fine. Like fried mushroom, like C, I guess. Like fried
C.
mushrooms are fine, but like I wish it was. It's one of those things that when you bite into it, it makes you wish it was something else. But it's fine.
This next one is gonna be. We're gonna say this is S tier for me. I adore deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. I love. I will eat so many of them. Just all the deviled eggs.
I don't know. Have I ever tried them? As far as I know, I haven't.
I don't know if you've ever had them. I should make them one year. I should just make them one year. Or I should just make them anytime and see if you like them. Because I'll eat them if you don't like them.
I'm pretty sure I've never had them, so I'm going to put them in D.
Fried turkey. This is going to be the only turkey that goes to A tier for me. I love fried turkey. It's like very tender and it's juicy and you put that like injection stuff into it. Oh, so good. So good. My dad used to fry turkeys. It was delicious and I loved it.
I've never had fried turkey, so I don't know what to do with this one. But this is one that I feel like I would like. The other things that I've put in D tier that I'm not so sure that I've had, but I'm kind of like, I really don't know how I would like them, like the deviled eggs. But this is something I feel like I would actually like a lot. So it feels weird to put this in D.
Put it in B until you get to try it. Because it's turkey, you're going to like it.
Yeah.
You'll just, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a turkey fan. I think it's an excellent meat. Fried turkey sounds great. Just never had it.
Next is, to me, this looks like a generic plate of just greens. I'm going to say this is probably collard greens. Or mustard greens, maybe?
No, this is, oh, maybe it is. I was about to say, I thought this was that nasty shit that Jeff likes, so slimy okra or whatever.
Oh, I love okra as well, but
that's not what that is, though.
That's not okra. That's not okra.
Okay,
no,
well,
that's greens. I'm gonna put it in C tier because I like greens, but it's Thanksgiving. I didn't grow up with eating greens for Thanksgiving, so I probably wouldn't really grab these if I was making my plate.
I'm going to put it in Forsaken for a lot of reasons I've already stated. It's just boiled to a mush leaves. And like, if you had served me some crispy ones with like a little dressing to put on it, maybe we could have talked, but this is bullshit. We've already established all of the reasons why, so I won't reiterate.
Next one is just wine, and I'm assuming it's red wine based off this picture. It's wine. It's good. It's wine. I'm gonna put it in B tier because it's fine. I like wine.
Wine can kind of be all over, but if it's wine, you've probably gotten it yourself, so you've been able to kind of make a selection based on what you like. Maybe not exactly what you wanted because you're catering to like a few people if you got people over, or you just pick up a couple of different options. I'm gonna put it in B because if I'm going and I'm picking out the wine, and I can kind of pick, I'm not a big wine person, but if I can choose between like the handful of flavor profiles that I'm more preferable to, I would say it's a B.
What about spiced cider?
I don't think I'm a big cider person. I've never had very much cider before, really. I'm gonna put it in C. I don't know. I don't have enough cider experience. C for cider. I've not had enough cider experience. I feel like cider can probably have wide swings from like top to bottom on the tier list. I'm just gonna put it in C and call it.
C too.
Yeah, because I really only know for sure that I've had apple cider and I feel pretty mid about it. I mean, I would, if it's around, I'll have a glass, but yeah, whatever.
So these bottles, I don't know if you've ever had these, AJ. These are like, I don't even know, sparkling wine, but it's non-alcoholic. You give it to the kids. They feel like they're grown-ups. Welch's makes it.
I was about to say, is it like the Welch's sparkling juice?
Yes.
I guess I'll put it in.
I just like these because I remember having it as a kid. Usually we had ours during Christmas and New Year's. We didn't really have it around Thanksgiving. We get them around Christmas and New Year's. But I always felt like such a little grown up with my little glass pouring my sparkly wine that I thought was wine. So yeah, I just have weird nostalgic memories for these. I'm gonna stick it in B. For me, that's nostalgia though. That's straight nostalgia. It probably tastes like ass. I don't know.
The problem with these is I have had at least a couple of them before, and I just kind of wish they were juice and not carbonated.
Okay.
So I'm going to put them in D tier.
Okay.
Because I could drink. It's not that bad. It's D. They don't have a lot to say about these. Yeah.
So this next one is really, really generic. It's just roasted veggies. Like, who's roasting of it? Like, you just... I almost want to put it in D tier because I'm offended.
Like, it depends on the veggies. I've grown to not like squash and zucchini as much, and I feel like those are staples of the roasted veggies. There's plenty of other vegetables you can roast that are tasty after you roast them.
It just seems lazy for Thanksgiving.
No, you roast some carrots. You roast some carrots and broccoli, maybe even some thick cuts of onion in there. Now, you know, obviously you don't really just take the onion chunk and just all on its own. That's a compliment to something else that's on the plate that you eat with it, you know. But I'm saying roasted onion can be good. Most of the time, whenever people do something like that, they'll throw some potato in there too. I don't know. I'm going to put roasted veggies at least C, because I feel like I see squash and zucchini in this picture.
Yeah.
But if I could,
put it in C.
If I could choose the vegetables that were being roasted, I would easily be a B. So we can move on to the next one.
Next one is stuffing. This is a S tier for me. I adore it. AJ is gonna have a lot more to say about it than that. That's how I'm leaving mine. The stuffing is one of my favorite foods overall. If mashed potatoes is one of my favorite foods of all times, stuffing or dressing, I'm from the South, we call it dressing. We don't put it in the bird, we bake it separately. That is like right underneath mashed potatoes. I will eat it for my birthday if someone wanted to make it for me. It doesn't have to be a holiday. Anyway, AJ's gonna speak now, I'm sure.
This is the stuff that I hate, right?
This is the stuff. So if you are from the South and you go to someone's house, 9 times out of 10, it is going to be cornbread dressing. They're gonna have cornbread that they mushed up. They're gonna add a lot of chicken broth. They're gonna add a lot of celery and a lot of onions, and they're gonna put that in there. Yeah.
This shit sucks. All right, yeah. I hate this. I don't like this at all.
I know you don't, and that's why I make a very different I make a different kind of dressing for Thanksgiving, because I have to have something. I have to have some dressing type food. And I found a recipe. It's a French recipe, a sourdough dressing. Well, they call it sourdough stuffing. You don't stuff anything in it, but whatever. It's made with sourdough bread and onions and celery and herb de Provence, and it has very little liquid in it, which is why AJ is okay with it. So
yeah, completely different type of thing. And hey, how's it going, by the way? T209. I feel like it ranks with the ham and mashed potato. Actually, I hate all of these. The green bean casserole, I feel like could have potential to bump up a tier if we addressed like the issues that I presented much earlier, but I'm pretty comfortable with this forbidden tier. Wet bread is one of my most hated things, and I feel like that's it's almost all that it is. It's bad. But now, what is the difference with that and sausage stuffing, except for I assume that one has bits of pork in it?
It's the same exact thing, except they add sausage to it.
I do like sausage. I feel like I've had this before at someone's house, and I got a little bit of it so I could eat the sausages out of it. But
I put mine in A tier. I like it. I don't like it as much as regular stuffing.
I mean, I'm going to put it in Forsaken because it still is stuffing and it still has all of the same problems, except for they've also wasted sausage whenever they could have just prepared sausage for you to get. So it's it's bad in the same ways, and it's bad in an additional way because of the waste of the sausage.
Potato casserole. This would be, sweet potato casserole with your. I don't put marshmallows on mine. I put like brown sugar crumble on mine. So.
Marshmallows? It has marshmallows on it?
Yeah.
Is that what that is in this picture?
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever had this.
You would not like it. It's good. It's very mushy. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm making it tomorrow. You're not gonna like it. I will let you, if you want to try it, you can. But it's mushy.
The closest thing that I get to eating mushy things is probably, and actually I see it down the line here, something like a pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie. Like, it's not mush because it's solid enough that you can cut it. You know what I mean? But it is it's a very soft texture.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like getting softer than that, like if I can't cut a slice out of the sweet potato casserole and I have to dip it out, you're probably correct.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to particularly like it. I guess I'll trust you and I'll put it in the Forsaken category also because it's a casserole and I've already given my treatise on casseroles earlier. And I'm going to stand by that and assume that it probably will apply to this.
I don't know what booty noodles is, so I'm looking up booty noodles.
I've been waiting for this because I don't know where they are, but it's just a good name. They're probably going to be disappointing and not live up to the name.
Oh,
but I don't
gross.
like my things too mushy.
This is going in D tier for me. This is chitterlings.
It's what?
It's chitterlings. Chitlins.
Oh.
That's going in straight D tier for me. Absolutely not. I don't eat chitlins.
If this is chitlins, I don't have anything to say except for it's going to go in the Forsaken tier. I've never had them and I'm not going to have them. I'll go ahead and I guess give like the explanation for this is bullshit. Like this is like this is trash parts of the animal. Like you just don't eat these parts. And then like some asshole is like, dude, we get we can make extra money if we sell this. And then we act like it's, act like it's a delicacy. And that's how you get like the bullshit foods. It's like, here's like the neck of this thing. Here's like the feet of this thing. Here's like the, I don't know. I'm sorry to say the anal cavity, but that's almost what the chitlins are. Or is, right? Something like that. I guess it's not the cavity, it's the actual intestine, but
it's the intestine, yeah.
So you end up with like making the bullshit parts of food, like, and then charging more for them sometimes. Dude, the French are notorious for it. Like, yeah, I don't 100% don't believe that originally they were like, oh, this is delicious. They were like, we need money and we can get people to eat this. Tell them what it is afterwards and then treat it like a delicacy. It's a scam.
I like snails, though. I don't lie. I will eat some escargot. I like escargot. It's delicious.
Well, I've never had it, but I just feel like we live in a time and place where we have better options.
All right, next is potato salad.
Show me potato salad.
S tier for me. I love potato salad. We know I love potatoes though. I argued. I think potato is the perfect food. So, there's not much you can do to it to make it bad. I already see what you're doing, and I hate it.
Yeah, the perfect food is going to be something like a perfect nigiri. Simple, but so full of flavor. Like that's a perfect food. Potato salad is a trash can food. And that's where it's going to go in this tier list. I don't even know what's in it, but it tastes really bad. The texture, the flavor, everything about it is bad. Potato salad to the bin.
Love potato salad. Potato salad has things in it you would like. It has relish. It has mustard. It has mayonnaise.
I don't know. They've taken all of it. They've taken things I liked and just created the worst combination somehow. It's almost magical how it could be done. Now we're getting to dessert type foods.
Good stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
We have
my list might finally have an uptick.
Pumpkin pie. I do love pumpkin pie. I'm gonna put it in A tier because there are better pies on here that I would compare it to. But I do love pumpkin pie very much. So it's gonna go in A tier for me.
Oh, Tito9 says they would miss it because good food can bring back good memories you have with family. And if that includes Thanksgiving food, so be it. I mean, no, that is sweet and that is true, but I don't like it. I wouldn't miss it. Whenever I think about Thanksgiving with families, I enjoyed seeing my family, but I remember being so hungry. And I appreciated my grandma whenever we would have it there because she would go ahead and slice off some of the turkey and have the stuff for me to make turkey sandwiches with after like a couple of years. So like she would always have everything. She would have everything ready for me, like some sliced pieces off to the side so I could make my sandwiches while everyone was fixing their plates. And those were delicious sandwiches from that turkey. Pumpkin pie. I do like pumpkin pie a lot, but despite how much I like pumpkin pie, there are just better pies in general. As much as I like pumpkin pie, it's tempting to put it in B because of how much I like other pies, but maybe it's an A. There's just a lot of pies that I do like better, but I do like but those would be like S tier pies, like your lemon icebox, lemon meringue, key lime. Like those are S tier pies. Pecan pie. Spoiler, I just, after I said it, I realized it's on the list because it's Thanksgiving type foods. We can move on from there.
Candied yams. I love candied yams. I haven't had them in a very long time. I don't know, actually, I've never made them either. I like them. I'm gonna put this in A as well.
I am going to put the candied yams in, I'm gonna put them in the C tier. I think I like them okay, but they're never as good as I think they're going to be. And after one or two, like, I'm good on them. I don't know. C tier feels about right.
Apple pie.
Well, I don't have too much to say. It's classic. I think everyone knows apple pie. At least, well, I don't know how common apple pie is outside of the US. If you're in the US, you probably know apple pie. It's quite good. I'm going to put it A tier. It's a classic.
I put it in B just because I don't associate it with Thanksgiving. But I do like it. But if I had other pies available to me, I wouldn't grab it.
Oh, speaking of Thanksgiving associations, what we are missing are the aforementioned lemon meringue pies, because at my grandma's house, my uncle would always have a lemon meringue pie because he knew that was my favorite. So he would pick one up, and just a store-bought one, but they was delicious. It doesn't matter. It's the Edwards one, because fuck Edwards real quick, because they don't have that as an option anymore. You can't get it. And they can just fuck right off and to the bottom of the ocean, or they can bring that shit back. Like, it makes me so fucking mad that they don't have that anymore.
I know. He was very upset. We went to the store and it was a lemon cream pie now, which is not a lemon meringue pie. It's very different.
No, it's very different. And it's like, it's okay. Out of like the variations of lemon pie, it is the lowest quality version of it. The meringue and the icebox versions are better. I've only ever actually had the icebox ones as homemade ones, but they're excellent. Oh, and the other association for a food that's not on here was a baked bean dish that, I mean, I say dish, I mean, it was baked beans with like some meat and stuff in there. It was excellent. That's one of my strongly associated Thanksgiving foods that I think is not
I feel like your mom told me one time she made beef enchiladas for you for a holiday.
Yeah, she has before. Those enchiladas that she makes are boss.
Pecan pie.
Easy S tier. This is one of the top tier pies. It's amazing. I don't know what the weird gel is that's in the pie under the pecans, but it's very good. Pecan pie is riding a fine line, the razor's edge, because that gel is almost like at a texture where I don't want, that I don't really like, but they make it work. I think between like the crust and the pecans, adding the stability and some crunch to it, it really offsets the gel, and then you really just get that part. It's like a nice sweet nutty taste. Actually, it probably doesn't taste nutty. That's probably just all in the pecans. But as a whole, it works. It's an S tier pie. It's top of the line.
Sweet potato pie. That's also going at S tier for me.
Did you rank pecan?
S tier.
Oh, okay. Sweet potato pie. I'm gonna put that. Honestly, if you handed them to me side by side, I feel like to some extent I would have a little bit of trouble distinguishing between the pumpkin and the sweet potato. Yeah. But I think most of the time I'm pretty good at picking them apart because the pumpkin is always a little bit better. So I'm going to drop sweet potato in B. even though they're very similar. The sweet potato pie is like the inferior version of a pumpkin pie. I don't know what's different about them. I assume that there's pumpkin incorporated into the pumpkin pie somewhere. But aside from that difference, I have a suspicion that most of the other spices that are included for the flavors have got to be like 90% the same.
So the orange part of the pumpkin pie is pumpkin. The orange part is sweet potato pie is sweet potato.
They have a surprisingly similar flavor. Like they're only slightly different, but the pumpkin is superior. And I do think that I'm pretty good at picking them out in a lineup, a taste lineup.
So the next two desserts on here, I'm confused about because these are like summertime desserts.
I feel pretty sure we've had peach cobbler at Thanksgiving, not on the regular. Maybe. I mean, there was always a couple of staple desserts, and then there would be a couple that was like a surprise, like, oh, we have this year, you know. I'm just gonna rate it as peach cobbler. It's good.
Yeah. A tier.
Peach is possibly the best of the cobblers. Does that make it A? Most cobblers I would put as a B tier. I'm gonna drop it in B. I do think that peach is probably the superior cobbler amongst them, so it might be the one that could transcend into A tier. I'm gonna place it in B for now, though.
Blackberry cobbler would be S tier for me. Banana pudding. I love banana pudding. I'm put it in S tier because it's banana pudding.
Banana pudding has always been a staple at our house. We had it all the time.
I'd make it occasionally.
It was a favorite dessert. Everyone at the house liked it, and it was my dad's favorite. Everybody liked it though. The banana pudding problem is the cookies, right? Because at first, if you just take the banana pudding and you add the cookies yourself, the cookies are too hard, they're too crunchy, it doesn't go together very well. If you put the cookies in it, you know, a day or two later, the cookies are too soft, they're too mushy. Like, so it's like
I like mushy cookies, but that's okay.
I want a little bit of like, I want the cookies to feel firm, but not necessarily crunchy. So there's like a very fine line when banana pudding is excellent. It's like, you know, one of those flowers that blooms once every like 100 years or something.
Like the corpse flower.
And then you catch it at like the right time and it's excellent. I also have mixed feelings about putting actual bananas like layered into it. I do like it because I love bananas, but that also adds another timing factor because they can start getting too mushy pretty quickly as well. So there's a lot that can go wrong with a banana pudding, but whenever you make it and then like the next day, I think is typically the kind of like the peak point for banana pudding. And whenever I think it's a pretty easy A tier based on that. Like when banana pudding is good, like it's so good, but then I feel like it has a short time frame where it's at its best though.
Okay.
So A tier banana pudding.
We have very different looking tier lists. They're very different.
I bet they are.
The shape of yours is very bottom heavy.
Yeah.
Mine is very top heavy.
Actually, let me give a let me give a glance over and make sure I don't want to move anything around. I think I'm pretty happy with it all.
I think I'm pretty happy with mine. I'm tempted to move jellied cranberry to S tier because the more I'm looking at it, the more I want some right now, but I'm going to leave it where it is.
I'm going to leave it like it is. There's a lot of these that have like a plus or minus a tier potential depending on the preparation.
Oh yeah.
So like mac and cheese could easily be an S. Like I do love biscuits and crescent rolls. Honestly, maybe biscuits should be S tier. I do like them a lot.
You do like biscuits.
All right, there's 3 items now. I'm gonna bump the biscuits.
Biscuits got bumped to S tier?
Yeah, I do like biscuits a lot. I think the only reason I don't have them more is because they're so associated with breakfast, and I'm not a morning person, so I'm never up at a time where I can get them, and I never really think to get them to just have at the house, even though they're quick and easy to fix. But they are one of my favorite like additions to like a breakfast dinner.
If today wasn't actually no, I could go and get you a biscuit right now after we're done with this list. Because I know of one place that's open right now that would have biscuits.
Who's open?
Hardee's is open 24 hours today.
Dude, that fucking blows. They shouldn't
I
do that
know.
to those people.
I know.
That's bullshit. What a horrible corporation.
Yep.
I know initially we talked about maybe doing more than one list, but I think I added a lot of length to this one.
No, I knew you
with my
would.
strong feelings.
That's why I wanted to do this with you so bad. I saw someone else doing it, and I was like, I need to do this with AJ. This is too. There's a lot of food opinions that need to be aired out on the internet.